Hello and welcome to this taste challenge, mid-morning taste challenge. I have two brandies bottled in America. Well, they're from America. It makes sense that they're bottled here. One is from Heaven Hill and one is from Laird and Company. So this is 1989 Royal VS brandy, and there's no other but the VS. There's no VSOP or XO that I could tell. This is just very standard, very special. They say VS stands for, but VS really stands for very standard. Age usually like about 2 years in oak, so pretty minimal. I did research on this product. This could be one of those times where the date is not fake. It might really go back to 1889. It just might go back to 1889. I don't know why it has a crown on it, because Kentucky's not a kingdom, but a lot of these labels don't make a whole lot of sense. It is glass, though. It's a handle bottle, and it is glass. Unlike most of these inexpensive brandies and whiskeys, they're plastic, like this one. Bankers Club, introduced in 1969, Bankers Club Select Brandy. I noticed on Total Wine & More, they were showing a label that said Bankers Club French Brandy. So there may be different variants of it, which wouldn't totally shock me, but it is kind of strange. It's got like a medieval guild house label. Interesting label. Not from the Middle Ages, maybe the mid-20th century. All right. Bottled in New Jersey by Laird and Company, famous for, I was talking about that in an early video that went long, but I had to go through the product, But their claim to fame is Applejack, apple brandy made from apples. But they produce great brandy like this and a whole lot of other stuff, gin, vodka, rum, tequila. Well, they don't produce tequila, but they sell some tequila brands under their umbrella. And they do cream liqueurs and straight bourbon and American blended whiskey and the whole lineup that you get at any liquor store. And we do get Laird's products in Louisiana. And we get a lot of products in Louisiana. I bought both of these at Total Wine & More. But they are not Total Wine exclusive brands. They just happen to be there. Let's check the current price. We'll look up Total Wine & More right now. Why? Okay, so we'll do a screen share here. You probably won't mind if you're watching. If you're watching my channel, people that are in a rush, they don't stay on my channel too long. Let's see. Brandy. Sort by. Let's go with price. Lowest first. Yeah, you got your little 50 milliliter bottles. Grand Gala Orange Brandy. So I don't know why that's showing. That's a mistake. Rum shot of liqueur is not a brandy, so it's another mistake. Okay, well, let's go to the 750s. Okay, Classic Club is your cheapest brandy. Makes sense because it's cheap and it's from Sazerac, even though I can't find any trademark information whatsoever. Old New England eggnog. Well, that might contain brandy in blended whiskey and rum. You see, that's why they're showing in Massachusetts. Winter Haven Farms eggnog, same thing. Might contain rum, brandy. A lot of these prepackaged eggs contain brandy. Parmesan brand amber, $9.99, good price. Popular, nothing remarkable, but popular. Okay, now here we go. Now the 1889 Royal Brandy is under Spirits Direct. Spirits Direct, that it's a Total Wine & More private label. Old Santee eggnog. I've never seen that anywhere else except for Total Wine & More. I'm pretty sure it's produced by Sazerac, but I can't quite. I got a lot of evidence on that. That would point in that direction. Pennsylvania Dutch. See, it doesn't say Spirit Direct because you can buy Pennsylvania Dutch at anybody's store. So, well, 2 stars eggnog. Another one that looks like it's from Sazerac. Never seen it anywhere but Total Wine. So, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Captain Applejack. 16.99. You know what? I might. I don't know. I'm scared to go with Applejack because then I'm gonna want to try everything or avoid it. All right, so we got 18.89 coming in at 9.99 out of stock. Oh, currently available in the store, out of stock online. Oh, that's fine. All right. I don't think the reviews are too super for this one. Yeah, 88. Well, B plus. Not so bad actually. It's got a bit of a different label too, by the way. Let's go see what the full size bottle is. I know what the Bankers Club is. I know the Bankers Club is 22.99. I looked at it this morning. Montmartre Napoleon Brandy, probably a private label. Never heard of it. Winter Haven Classic Club might be a private label. Simple almost certainly is. 700 milliliters. Oh, what a ripoff. Try to avoid that one. So Bankers Club 22.99. Tuaga, that's a liqueur made with brandy. It's not a brandy, just like these eggnogs. It's a liqueur. Okay, so they're not showing the 1889 VS. Huh? I guess they don't carry it. So price never changes. Laird's straight Outback 39. Okay. But here we go on Heaven Hill. Now they're showing 1889 Royal Brandy waivers, and they're listing it as a DSS, a distilled spirit specialty. They're not listing brandy, although they're listing it under their brandy section. A distilled spirit specialty is any liquor that can go into any category. Any category. It's like a catch-all category. You can add flavor and you can add color and you can add anything. But I don't know why they're listing it as a DSS because you can add flavor into brandy. You don't even have to disclose it. So they got the 1.75, the 750s, the liters. Oh no, sorry, that's a aristocrat. So they got two sizes, 70s and 1.75s. Now, even though it's listed on the Heaven Hill website, it might still be a private label brand for Total Wine and More because they might have an agreement, right? They might have an agreement where they only sell it at Total Wine and More this day and age. Although the product, I do believe, goes back to perhaps 1889. DeVille Brandy, I've never seen DeVille and I've never seen Aristocrat, but I'll keep my eyes open. Some other brandy brands, Christian Brothers, of course, we all know about that. Coronet, I think that's more like a West Coast thing, like California. J. Babbitt, that might be up north. Sacred Bond, I know where to find that. I can find that at Dorgnac's 100 proof. Sacred Bond, Christian Brothers Sacred Bond Brandy, great one. So the brands they feature, I'm not typing in all that. It's like Coronet and Christian Brothers. That's all they show. Coronet, Christians, and Christian Brothers Sacred Bonds. So there's no use showing. All right, here's the website for Laird and Company. There you see the Bankers Club. Straight bourbon, American blended whiskey. There's the brandy in. There's rum, gold, and silver. There's blended Scotch whiskey. I'd like to know who makes that. Never find out. And vodka. They bought Bankers Club from Kasser when they bought Kasser. Well, actually, they bought the whole company, Kasser of Philadelphia. I think they sold off the property, moved all the production to New Jersey. So that's the way that goes. So here's some cocktail recipes. Apple Prosecco Punch, an Aviation, a Bay Breeze, Black Russian, Black Widow, Bloody Mary, Blue Lagoon, Cape Cod, Coconut Breeze, Cosmopolitan, and on and on. And if you follow those instructions, you should be able to make it. Okay. Okay, this is the complete. And And this is the main product that I'm doing right now, letter M. Okay. So I bought this at Total Wine and More, and they're no longer listing this big bottle. But like I said, I think it was $18, $17.99. Might have been $18.99, $18.89. It was $18.89. No, I don't know that, but it wasn't expensive because I would not have paid a high price for some very likely private label brand from Heaven Hill for Total Wine and More. Now, I'm not being hasty in my speech because you might come on here and talk about, wait a minute, hold on, Jack. I got a liquor store right by my house that's in Kentucky, and I live in Kentucky, and it's definitely not Total Wine and More, and they got this stuff everywhere. Okay, I believe that. But normally when you see Spirits Direct, that means that's one of their private labels. That's just the trend. That's the pattern, is what I mean. I'm not waiting for it to focus. All right. I was really disappointed in this product. I'm going to tell you that straight up. It's like they went buck wild with the flavoring. Okay, you want to add a little vanilla flavoring? That's allowed. To me, it's vanilla, but you don't have to go berserk. And I feel I think that's what they did. They went a little overboard. Or perhaps a lot overboard. Now, the Bankers Club is totally opposite. It doesn't taste like they added any flavoring, which they're not required to do. It's allowed. It's not required by any means. They may have added coloring. I don't know. It would make sense that it would be better because Laird's is a company that specializes in brandy. That's the main thing they make. Not the only thing. Well, actually, it might be the only thing that they make. They bottle gin, rum, vodka, tequila, cream liqueurs, Scotch whiskey, and so forth. But I don't think they make that stuff. They just handle the brands, just like McCormick. McCormick sells Scotch. So does Sazerac, but there's no Sazerac Scotch distillery, and there's no McCormick Scotch distillery. Burley Sullivan says, you, and I'm going to say you too, you. Daryl Macias says, good morning, Ronald. Same to you, Daryl. All right, so appearance-wise, this thing will focus. Yeah, there it goes. They're about the same. Amber, copper to amber, whatever that color is. Kind of copper looking, right? Like a copper water pipe. Turn on the lamps now. No reason to have those off. Give us some good lighting. And get rolling. Might rain today. It's been raining all week, off and on. Every day you get rain. That's the normal summer pattern in Louisiana. Normal southern pattern. Not a drought like we had last year. That's not normal. That's abnormal. The heat dome, it was 97 every day, and it never rained for 2 months. Killed half my monkey grass. Disgusting. Still hasn't grown back. Probably never will. The regular St. Augustine grass is taking it over there on that edge by the driveway. C-Note 215 says, good morning. Same to you. All right. So I don't have to worry about closing my eyes because they both have the same appearance. Copper. Probably from caramel color added. But this, I cannot say that for sure because I do not know that. Brandy with natural flavor and caramel color. Okay. They're telling you straight up on the label. Brandy with natural flavor and caramel color. Very smooth. And then it says RB, Royal Brandy, Fleur de Lis, and a lion, and a crown. So, the label is the same as the other one. Okay. If you've seen it at other liquor stores, let me know, but I do believe it's a Total Wine and More private label. Okay. Bankers Club Select Brandy, they don't say anything about coloring added or flavoring added, but then on the other hand, they're not required to say that. I was just looking at the website, the U.S. government website about flavoring, harmless coloring and flavoring added to liquor. Just reading it. I was just reading it. Because I was watching a bourbon hangout, and they were doing not Ezra Brooks, they were doing a Woodford Reserve double oaked. And the guy was like, I think they're adding flavoring. And then the host was saying, no, you can't add additives to bourbon. Well, you can add it, but you can't add it and call it straight bourbon. You can't have straight bourbon with additives. So if you buy any bourbon that says straight bourbon, you're safe. No coloring, no flavoring added. But you will find products on the shelf, usually very low on the shelf, like at the bottom of the shelf, that will say bourbon with natural flavors. And you can expect those are going to be pretty shabby, because why else would you be adding flavoring? And then the host said bourbon had to be aged, straight bourbon had to be aged at least 4 years. And I made a comment. I said, no, actually, the regulations are 2 years. Straight bourbon, it has to be aged at least 2 years. Although 4 years is common, for bourbon, 4 years is common. But the minimum age is only 2 years. All right, so this is classified as a DSS on their own website, Distilled Spirit Specialty. And that's just listed as a brandy. And if you go to Total Wine and More or Winn-Dixie or Walmart or any liquor store, do they have a section called Distilled Spirit Specialties? The answer is no, they don't. If it's a brandy DSS, they're going to stick it with brandy. If it's a bourbon distilled spirit specialty, they're going to stick it with bourbon, because most people are going to regard it as actual bourbon, although it technically isn't. But in a practical sense, it is. And that's what we worry about here on this channel, practicality. Yeah, basic bourbon, basic brandy, I mean, kind of just like raisins and alcohol. Raisins and alcohol. Yeah, like boozy raisins. Are they using red grapes raisins? Most likely they're using golden grapes, white grapes as they call it. Although you ever notice the skin is green? If you take the skin off a white grape and the skin off a red grape, they're the same on the inside. They're just like clear. But the skin is what makes the color. But most brandy is made from white wine. There's no rule about that, though. Brandy can be made from white or red wine. What's going on, man? Says James Lassane. I'm tasting these two brandies. This one bottled in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. I bought it at Total Wine and More. And that one bottled in New Jersey. That one bottled in New Jersey by Laird Company, and also bought it at Total Wine and More. Aroma. Well, they're about the same. They look the same. Copper. They smell the same. Boozy grapes. Now the question is, will they taste the same? And the price was a little different. Like I said, a little different. This was $18.99 and that was $22.99, I believe. So it's about $4 difference. A $4 difference. But it won't be $4 better. No. So automatically the $18.89 is going to win if the flavor is the same. And there's not much quality difference. Now, if there is, well, that's different. Okay, taste. Same old story. Raisins, 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 raisins. You say, well, what if you make 1 million brandy videos in your life? Are you going to say raisins every time? And my answer is going to be yes, unless I do apple brandy or blackberry brandy, which my daughter and I did, the LaRue blackberry brandy and the spice blackberry brandy. But yeah, I'm going to keep saying that because that's what it tastes like. I don't make up descriptors just to fill time or make the channel seem different. Like you might say all the time when you do IPAs, you're talking about white bread crust, white bread crust, white bread crust, white bread crust. Don't you get tired of saying that? Yeah, I get tired of saying it. I get tired of saying it, but that's what it tastes like. I mean, that's what it tastes like. Most IPAs taste like white bread crust. I'm not going to make up something new to change things up. I'm not doing phony stuff on the channel. This tastes like vanilla. It tastes like wedding cake icing is what it tastes like. Maybe a raisin undertaste, but let's get. I mean, enough's enough. Let's get down to it. This tastes like wedding cake icing, frosting. Some people say frosting, some say icing. If you go to a grocery store, they sell both frosting and icing interchangeably. It's the same product with two different names. I don't know why Heaven Hill thought it was a good idea to add a bunch of what I perceive as vanilla cream flavor. Didn't the grapes taste good enough on their own? You know, the grape wine? Well, maybe not. But come on, man. I mean, this thing is no good. The Bankers Club is good, and it has a very dry presentation. It is dry and it finishes dry. So I know this is the Bankers Club. I got it. No way I was missing that. No way I was getting that wrong. I knew that before I did the challenge because I remember this 1889. It needs to go back to 1889. What it needs to do. Now, if it does go back to 1889, which I think it does actually, because I was looking at an ad from 1915 about it. But it was from California back then. I don't know what this Kentucky stuff. I don't know what happened. I seriously doubt they were adding vanilla flavoring in 1889, but maybe that was a common thing back then. I do not know. But this thing is a mess. Yeah. I'll be glad when this bottle's gone in about 10 years. I'll be sorry when this bottle's gone because it tastes good. It tastes like golden raisins. If they're adding flavoring, I'm not picking it up. I just taste the grapes, the golden raisins. I don't think they're adding flavoring. Might be adding coloring. Doesn't seem like it though. But yeah, it's a really good product. $22.99. Oh, it's absolutely worth that for this big bottle. Oh yeah, you got it. If you see it at Total Wine & More, get it. Don't hesitate. Buy it, and I think you're going to like it. On the other hand, this product, you can get a regular bottle for $9.99. I would skip it. I would not buy this. You failed, Heaven Hill. 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 You failed. Hey, I like wedding cake. Don't like really going to weddings, but the cake is good. The icing and the frosting, I don't even know what to call that. I call it both frosting, icing. It's good, but I don't want to drink it. You need to get on. You need to run along and get out of my face. What you need to do. This thing is a wreck. It does not taste like brandy, except for a small undertaste of more like the dark raisins, which that wouldn't bother me. But this thing is a mess, and I'm sorry I bought it. And it would never get anything higher than like a B minus. It's kind of good, like kind of good, like an 80 out of 100, and that's being generous. But an 80 out of 100, you want to pay $18.99 for an 80 out of 100? Be my guest. I won't do it. You can get a regular bottle for $9.99. Paul Masson, VS, E&J VS, Christian Brothers VS. They wiped this out. It's not even close. It's laughable. And I've only seen it at Total Wine. You take this product and put it against Paul Masson or Christian Brothers or E&J VS Brandy, it gets killed. It gets massacred. It gets annihilated. But I'm not going to keep going on because I only have to address this once a year when I go back to brandy, maybe twice a year if my schedule is sped up. But I look how long that's going to take to get rid of this this thing. But this is nice. Bankers Club, it is very nice. It's better than average. It would beat, I think it would beat Paul Masson and E&J and Christian Brothers, although my bottles are all gone now, I'm afraid. But unfortunately, but I have a lot of other brandies. But it's a real competitive product. It can really win, you see. And it will win. It's winning today. And it's so dry. That's what makes it unique. It's so dry, so dry, so dry, so dry, so dry, so dry, so dry. There's enough of your YouTube reviews to make an AI version of yourself. I agree, Joe. Parmesan was better before Sazerac bought them out. Oh, really? I don't know. Maybe. Craft Beer Tastic says flavor descriptors are relative to the product category. Can't get around that. Well, that's true. That's why whiskey tastes different than brandy and rum tastes different than tequila. All right. Ain't working. Ain't working. I'm gonna go eat some now that I'm finished. I'm gonna go eat some wedding cake, bride's cake. No, I'm not, because I just drank some. X you out. It does get a B minus because the flavor itself is actually a good flavor, but it's so inappropriate for what I'm drinking, brandy, that it's illicit. It's bad. It's bad for what it is, or what it should be. American brandy, VS brandy. As some kind of concoction item, yeah, I guess it's good, but yeah. So that's it. If you're out shopping for brandy and you don't want to pay a lot and you see Bankers Club, absolutely get it. I would say buy it without hesitation. It's going to be a real nice product. If you see this, keep on shopping. Don't stop and look at it. Ignore it. Keep on going. Unless you just like throwing away money. Now you say, no, I'm very wasteful. I don't like quality. I love to just waste my money. Oh, well, then buy it. You'll probably be happy. All right. Well, thank you. Sorry for this bad challenge, but I didn't make the product. I guess I shouldn't be sorry. Coming up on what's today? This is counting for Wednesday. This counts for Wednesday because Wednesday is going to be busy. That's why I'm doing it preemptive. Thursday, I should be able to do one schedule wise, God willing, and I'll bring in another American brandy, which will probably be it might be Brandy St. Louis. I think I'm skipping over one, but it's Brandy St. Louis, which is a craft brandy. Craft, it's like a small company, family. Well, actually, one woman owns it, and she made comments on my channel. I was really amazed by that. She made comments. She said, "That's my company. That's my brandy," and she was really happy that I gave it such a good score. No, she did not give me any money. She did not secretly talk to me off air to set that up where I made good comments. I just bought it randomly. I can still buy it. I know where to find it. But anyway, if anybody wants to see what brandy I bought last week, let me know. I bought some new revisit brandy. I bought some brandy last week. Let me know if you'd like to see it. If not, that's it. I'm off the air, but I'll show it to you going once. I'll show you the one I bought last week going twice. And gone. Okay, well, you'll see it when it's ready to go. Oh, Daryl Macias. Well, I was like literally you saw my finger was on the button to stop in stream. Okay, I'll show it to you. Put this over here before it falls. I wish it would fall and break. I shouldn't be that fanatical about it, but it is irritating. Yeah, the next one coming up is Delacour. I forgot Delacour. Delacour brandy, bottled in Missouri. Obviously, I don't think it's from Missouri, but or that would say so. Delacour, it's amazing. The funny thing about Delacour, from the heart. I think that's what that means in English. From the heart. De la cour, from the heart. And when you taste it, you get the impression that it really is from the heart. It's a pretty good product, as cheap as it is. I only paid for that. I think it's a liter bottle too. A liter. I only paid like $12.99, something like that. It was a good price for a liter. That stuff's pretty good. But nothing great. But the amazing thing about Delacour is that if you go to the French Quarter, which is the tourist section of New Orleans, where all the tourists go, they ought to call it the tourist trap instead of the French Quarter. But or the money hole, where you go to get rid of your money. All the fancy restaurants in the French Quarter, Galatoire's, Antoine's, Quarter Two Sisters, Two Jacks, Gautreau's, and all of that. You look at their happy hour on the weekdays, happy hour like 4 to 7. What is their special brandy liqueur? A brandy cocktail like a brandy Alexander or a brandy sidecar? Delacour. With Delacour. Why are all these New Orleans French Quarter restaurants or the Hermes bar at Antoine's, why are they serving, or the Carousel bar at Royal Sonesta Hotel, why are they serving Delacour? I don't know, but that's what they have. Every website, Delacour. Now, did they make a hookup deal with Heaven Hill's distributor? Yeah, probably so. And with Heaven Hill probably said, look, if they buy this brandy, we're gonna make them a deal they cannot refuse. And then the restaurants were like, oh, woof, that cheap? You got it. And so they always selling it. Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Ron. Checking in. Says, working class beer review. Sorry for my tardiness. That's all right. I'll let it go this time. All right. So here's the brandy I bought. And this is made with Italian brandy. Here's a brand you might have seen before. And I got this at Winn-Dixie last week. And they have it on sale right now for $8.99. $8.99. I've had this before on my channel, but in some cases it was the really low grade VS version. This is the VSOP. Oh, it's low grade. It's just not really low grade like the VS. That VS was a mess. I choked it down though. They don't even make it anymore. If you look at their, you never find the VS anywhere. Oh, well, no in Sazerac. They probably still make it. They probably say, where is the largest homeless populations in the city? No, I don't know. But anyway, here's Hartley VSOP. You know, VSOP brandy is a little extra aged, 4 to 6 years. With this one, probably more like 4 years and not a second longer. Introduced in 1943, oddly. But yeah, it's at least Sazerac's up front. Now, I'll give them credit for that. They put out some low-end stuff, no doubt. But at least they're up front. Brandy with natural flavors and caramel color. So they are good about telling you what you're about to get into. Made with imported brandy. And where is it imported from? There's the flag, Italy. It's made with Italian brandy, bottled by Sazerac Company. Okay. Man, it is amazing how popular this product is. Because when you taste it, you'll be amazed by how unpleasant it is. You know what I mean? It's pretty, grim. But for $8.99, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this to myself again. But maybe it's improved. I'll be open-minded. You know, I'm always open-minded. Hartley VSOP on the market since 1943, and I don't know who originally owned it. I could do some research on that, maybe on trademark data. But there it is, clear bottle, same bottle as the Weller bourbon used to be, before they revamped their lineup. Same bottle as 2 Stars bourbon that Total Wine sells via Sazerac. Same bottle as, a whole lot of other Sazerac products like Barton Very Old Barton bourbon. You've seen Very Old Barton. Same bottle, except theirs is brown. This is clear. Oh my goodness. I don't know why it's called Hartley. Was Marriott Hartley from Taxi born in 1943? And I don't know. I wonder how these big distilleries source the base wine to make their brandy. Says Craft Beer Tastic. Uh, that's a great question. When you taste some of these products, you get the impression that the way they get it is they get the lowest bid. Like they put in the lowest bid to the grape companies, and the grape company or the wine company is like, oh, yeah, we'll sell that because they were probably trying to dump it out. But somebody, and they're talking to each other in the back room, they actually bought it. We were going to dump it down the drain. And then the other guy's got the cigar and he's like, after they distill it, it ain't going to matter. After they distill it, it ain't going to matter. And they're like, okay, boss. You know, it's like you get that impression. Anyway, all right. So maybe one day down the line, we'll do the Hartley VSOP. I got a fresh bottle. I got it in the cabinet out of the light. That'll be a revisit from a decade ago. If you've ever had it, let me know. They used to have a bottle and bond version. I saw some old internet photos of Hartley bottled and bond, but pretty sure that hadn't been around for the longest time. Enjoyed the taste challenges this morning. Oh, thank you, Daryl. So in a couple of days, we'll be back for some more. All right, y'all take care now.